This is Southern Cross News with Rachel Williams.
Well, conditions are predicted to worsen as firefighters continue to battle a blaze in the state's east, with a bushfire advice message still active for parts of Pyengana and Goshen. The latest Tasmania Fire Service alert says the fire is progressively being contained 10 kilometres to the west of St Helens in rugged terrain. There is no immediate threat to homes, but residents in the area are urged to be vigilant as wind conditions can make the situation unpredictable.
We've had crews, we've had the fire heavily resourced all day today ahead of the expected warmer conditions which we're now experiencing over the last couple of hours. We are seeing some increased fire activity on the southern end around the Upper Scamander area, but however we've got a number of resources in place to deal with that situation.
A Tasmanian mosque has today thrown open its doors to the wider community in an attempt to increase awareness about the Islamic faith. The head of the Multicultural Council of Tasmania says her organisation often hears reports of Muslim women being verbally abused by members of the community.
It's events such as this one that members of the Muslim community say is crucial to change some dangerous and common misconceptions about the faith.
Not true Muslim won't want to even hurt a fly.
This Hobart Mosque, one of many around the country opening its doors in an attempt to prevent issues that commonly confront its community.
There are signs around parts of Tasmania that say Muslims out, like on road signs. So it's certainly there are people that have really bought into this Islamophobia.
The mosque's imam of 2 decades says while community understanding is growing, he holds concerns groups such as ISIS are wrongly identified as related to his religion.
It's not our doing because they're not true Muslims. If they're true, I will consider them they are not one of us.
While visitors were asked to leave their shoes at the door today, they were invited to learn about the religion practised by over 2,000 Tasmanians.
We have fun together, eating together, we play together.
99.9% of Muslims are just trying to live a normal life with their families and get a job and keep a job and keep food on the table, and yet they are getting caught up in these very negative campaigns about their faith. Because
other members of the community today launching a campaign, Muslims Down Under, at the Royal Hobart Show. It aims to promote tolerance and understanding on issues said to be of wide concern, such as radicalisation, terrorism and women in the faith.
It has never given a message that we should give any harm to any humanity, we should give harm to any living creature.
Anna Reynolds says she often hears reports of Tasmanian Muslim women being verbally abused.
nobody wants that to happen to anyone, and it's really unnecessary because often it is based on myths and misconceptions about the faith.
Islam doesn't promote any terrorism. Islam means peace, and our motto is love for all, hatred for none.
Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
With the Pembroke by-election now only days away, candidates are ramping up their campaigning. Labor's Jo Seeker officially launching her campaign today ahead of a busy week of door-knocking.
I'm enthusiastic, I'm young, I've got the policy and legislation background, which, let's face it, that is what the upper house is about, and I do really listen and I want to be that voice.
Liberals' James Walker also covering ground, saying experience with local government sets him apart.
I think I'm at a point in life where my work experience as well as family experiences can all come together to bring that extra level of diversity to the upper house. The
by-election will be held next Saturday. In October every year, a small town comes alive as part of the North East Rivers Festival with the infamous Derby River Derby. Competitors take to the river with their homemade rafts, battling for the top spot. And this year, the annual event saw more than 200 entries.
It's go, go, go as these homemade rafts make their way down the river, each competing for the top spot, some just hoping they make it all the way.
But I'm attempting a bit of a surfer, so I attempt to paddle as much as I can and do it that way.
The Derby River Derby is in its 41st year and saw close to 200 people participate. The race always proves exciting, with raft makers getting innovative.
You can create your own raft as long as it is an inflatable raft to go down the river. So it can be tyre tubes, it can be milk bottles all joined together, cartons, whatever you'd like, as long as it's an inflatable raft.
To win a trophy in this event, you need to get really creative and make your own raft. Some are quite sophisticated, others simple, but it's all fine as long as they float. Father of two, Richard Binns, won the race with his creative design.
It's made out of polypipe, and basically we put balls, round balls up inside the polypipe to make it inflatable, and then we put seats across the top to sit on.
The annual event is part of the North East Rivers Festival, which runs for 2 weeks. Rita Risk, Southern Cross News.
The Australian music industry is mourning the death of a New South Wales country music manager killed in a motorcycle crash on Tasmania's west coast. The incident occurred north of Tulla just after midday yesterday. Robert James Potts was the chairman of the Australian CMA Advisory Group and was visiting the state with his wife from Sydney. The 65-year-old was riding with 3 others when he lost control of his motorcycle after hitting a patch of gravel on a sharp left-hand corner. Police are preparing a report for the coroner. Highland dancers from across the country have converged on Launceston this weekend for the Tasmanian Highland Dancing Championships. Dozens donning their kilts to impress the judges.
Spirits were high for these Highland dancers. Isaac is one of many who took today to the stage in the Tasmanian Highland Dancing Championships. The 11-year-old says he dreams of becoming a professional.
And where do you see yourself in the next couple of years?
In Scotland. Dancing, the World Championship.
It's the traditional Scottish dance where every move is judged on its precision and technique.
If you can't get through the dance with your fitness, you can't keep up the technique to the end. So it's really important to get the fitness and the technique to work together.
The 21-year-old has been dancing since she was 3 and says it takes patience and passion.
You have to be committed, I think, to start off, because it's a very hard type of dance to learn. And then after that, you just have to love it, really.
Every move carefully prepared, no room for mistakes in this centuries-old dance.
Very challenging, and it's very set. You can't just fake a mistake. You can't cover it up. Once you've made a mistake, that adjudicator knows.
The championships are in their 49th year. Rita Risk, Southern Cross News.
Hundreds of those who enjoy a tipple or two flocked to Hobart's Princess Wharf 1 this afternoon to sample some of the state's top drops. The Tasmanian White Wine Weekend drawing a crowd of 500 to try wines from more than 20 local producers.
We all work together to show each other's wines. So this is very much a showcase of Tasmania generally, not individual brands. So we call it Tasmania's biggest cellar door.
Just to support like local Tassie business and try some wine, have a good time.
The event kicks off again at noon tomorrow.
It's been a disappointing Sheffield Shield opener for Tasmania so far, with the Tigers trailing Western Australia by more than 100 runs after the Warriors bowled the visitors all out for 231 a short time ago. Overnight, the Tigers' top order collapsed, with Jake Doran the best of the bunch.
Jake Doran looked the danger man early for the Tigers, belting the Warriors' attack all over the whacker. Jordan Silk not so confident with the bat, caught behind on just 3 to give the home side a boost. Alex Doolan set about picking up the pieces, but those hopes were short-lived. Doran wouldn't be as easily accounted for, notching up his half-ton as he and the Tigers skipper settled in. Matthew Kelly came close to trapping Bailey, but the Warriors didn't have to wait too much longer before that wish came true. And when Matthew Wade went on 1 in the very next over, the Tigers' hopes of chasing down 323 were all but shattered. Bo Webster did his bit for the cause, combining with Doran to try and salvage some pride. Nathan Colton-Nile had other ideas, ending Webster's day on 19. Doran flirting with danger and getting away with it once, but a bold call to try and sneak a risky single ensured he wouldn't get away with it twice, ran out on 54. And with the Tigers train on the verge of being completely derailed, the weather closed in as the visitors ended the day licking their wounds on 6 for 134.
And Australia's best harness racing drivers are preparing to do battle it out, at Hobart's Elwick Racecourse, with competition getting underway shortly in the 2017 Australian Drivers' Championships.
Every year, but in Tasmania every second year, we share with South Australia. So we've got 8 races and there's 12 drivers, the best 12 in Australia, in every race.
Todd and Garrett Rattray will fly the flag for Tasmania after coming first and second in the Tasmanian Driver Awards in August. But the pair will have some stiff competition on their hands, with Victoria's Chris Alford heavy favourite to take out tonight's championship.
Big win, Nostra Villa.
We've got a crack of a day, and we've promoted it to get people back. We've got plenty of other events on. We've got outside food, stuff for the kids, and live music and those sort of things. So, it's sort of start of a different build-up for us.
The first of 8 races gets underway in around half an hour's time, with the winner of the championship to be announced following the final race at around 11 p.m.
Good evening. It was a wet start for most of the state, but a mostly fine afternoon. Hobart 25, Launceston 21, Burnie 21 and Devonport 18. Many areas hit the 20s today. The state's top was 26 at Friendly Beaches, Bushy Park 23, 22 for Grove, Maria Island and St Helens, 18 in Strawn, Flinders and King Island. The highest reported rainfall was 20 mil at the Pine Tree Rivulet. Satellite shows extensive bands of mid-level cloud from the Northern Territory through inland Queensland and New South Wales. Mid-level cloud over the Bight drifting towards Tasmania. A low pressure trough is in New South Wales causing extensive storms. Up closer, there's low-level cloud about the west and mostly clear on the east coast. Tomorrow, a low pressure system over the Southern Ocean will drive a cold front towards the state. On the water, northeast to northwesterly winds to 25 knots, reaching 30 knots about the east and 35 in the west. Seas to 3.5 metres about the west and south. A gale warning is current for southwestern and western coastal waters. A strong wind warning is current for northwestern and eastern waters, including all inshore waters, and a small craft wind alert current for the southwest and central plateau lakes. Rain is expected around most of the state tomorrow. Hobart and Richmond, light rain with 25, Ooze 23. Launceston, late rain 21. Devonport and Deloraine, rain with 18. Rain for the west, Burnie 18, Strawn and Curry 21. St Helens and Whitemark 22. Swansea, sunny with late rain and 24. The UV ranges from high to very high across the state tomorrow. The 3-day forecast is looking wet. Monday, showers contracting to the west and south with a chance of west coast storms. Tuesday, showers for the west and far south, mainly fine elsewhere. Wednesday, showers starting in the west and south, extending statewide by the afternoon. Around the country tomorrow, 21 in Perth, 38 in Alice, Sydney 29 and Melbourne sunny with 28. And currently in Hobart, 17 and partly cloudy, Launceston 17, partly cloudy, Devonport 15, partly cloudy. That's all from me, Rach.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Candice. Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening. Good night.